Hello, my friends. It is Friday, June 14th, 2019, 11:05 p.m. And we are starting with our temperatures over the continental U.S. And we're about in day 4, 5, maybe even 6 of 100 degrees and above in areas of Arizona, parts of New Mexico, Southern California, clearly down into Mexico. We're hitting 90s in Texas, high 90s in the northern ends of Texas. So the next thing to watch out for would be our fire warnings, and we do have them, believe it or not. Now, I'm going to get through this first, and then we're going to talk about the situation going on with Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Nebraska with the severe weather going on. But yes, this right here is a red flag warning due to the heat. So it's pretty windy in this area. And small aircraft advisories is where you see this gray here, also due to the wind. So not only is it hot, but it's windy in this area. I'm not sure if that has to do with the Santa Ana winds, but the chart is showing small aircraft warnings plus red flag warnings, which means fire. The heat is there. We're going to continue to see this. I'm surprised we're not seeing it down in Southern California just yet. We may, but usually you get those up in these areas up here where there's more vegetation and things like that. So really quick with this Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska situation. This is our 5-day rain chart. And you look at some of these areas, guys, and you match up the colors. We're talking a good 5-6 inches of rain over the next 5 days, most of it happening in the next couple days when it comes to Oklahoma and Kansas for that matter. And then as we usually see, it's going to stretch straight up to the northeast over the next 5 days. And still seeing some of these colors here, you match them over here. 5 inches of rain within a 5-day period, just more and more moisture being added. And we got to understand this is also crossing over the Mississippi River, which will in turn add more water into this river that is just completely devastating farmers and crops and you name it. I mean, you've heard it from every weather channel at this point that this is one of the biggest situations we've seen in decades when it comes to the Mississippi River. And we will be talking about that in the near future. But check out some of these radar charts here, guys, and look at some of these storms that are puffing in and out. This was a little backtracked here, but we could see it rolled right through Oklahoma. Kansas moved into Missouri, and then the last frame is what we're seeing right now rolling in to the area. So a second round is now coming in. This East Coast front is being pushed out by a high pressure system, but again, like we've been talking about, right behind it is another system being pushed by another high pressure system. And the infrared loop shows the exact same thing. I mean, look at this. This thing is blowing up quickly as it's passing more over Kansas, it looks like. I mean, obviously it's Kansas. When you take the center of this massive storm here that stretches down into Oklahoma and then reaches up into Kansas, Nebraska, and then it will make its way, like I said, over the next 5 days up into the northeast. But right here is that high pressure area that is pushing this moisture all back out into the Atlantic. But then again, like I said, this is another system that is going to make its way to the northeast, and it will be pushed by another high pressure system coming down from the upper west, obviously. Checking out the lightning charts here, we can see a lot of activity in the same exact areas over western Oklahoma, western Kansas, and then up into Nebraska. These are live lightning shots right now, so you can tell the storms are pretty significant in this area. We can also confirm that via radar scope, which we use on almost a daily basis now. Wonderful website, wonderful app. A lot of people use this app now, and you just get an idea. You see these thick red colors, and when you see these red boxes here, this is severe storm warnings, and you can come up here and pick and choose which ones you want to check out. So yes, we do have Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota even. So these are the ones that are moving up into this direction. Nebraska, Texas, and then flash flood warnings in Nebraska as well. If we back out, you can kind of see that right here. This is the flash flooding going on in Nebraska. We'll check that out. And then up here also in Nebraska, we have another situation similar to the one going on in Kansas and the west end of Oklahoma. Now, if I double up this screen here, we can look at two versions. So basically, picture this screen split in half right here. This is a velocity chart. This would show any sort of tornadic activity, and this is our storm cell side. So if we zoom in here, there are little areas that could potentially have the ability to produce tornadoes, but because we're not seeing those red boxes, I mean, these things can happen out of nowhere. I mean, within the next 20 seconds, we could see a red box pop up because these are pretty strong cells that are moving in. And you could see once on this side, we pass Plains, Sublette, Meade, Copeland, Fowler, Minnesota, Montezuma. And then once we get to this actual cell, which is named N8, that's when things get pretty serious. So if once I move that out of the way and this moves into the last frame, I'll hit pause and you'll get an idea. This is where the cell starts, and that's a pretty dense storm right there. When you get into the purple regions, you know you got some significant weather going on there. Hence the lightning chart I showed you. This is why the lightning is going crazy right now, and it's stretching all the way up through the Dakotas. So if I back out here, we do have a little bit of a severe mark here in the Dakotas. I'm surprised there's not more based on the lightning itself. I mean, it could be heat lightning, but sure, there is a severe warning going on in South Dakota as we speak. And now back to the velocity chart. We just want to make sure that we're not seeing anything that would reflect to a somewhat of a tornado warning. Again, there are no tornado warnings as of right now. That could change any second. You guys know how this stuff works. It could be a severe weather watch, and then the next minute it's you got a red box going with a possible tornado warning. If that does happen, I will certainly report on it. But these are pretty strong storms moving through this area. Like I said, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, soon to be Arkansas, Missouri. And then, like I said, over the next 5 days, this is just going to be a stretch of moisture that goes all the way up to the northeast. And basically right now what we want to focus on are our friends in Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, so on and so forth, and now even the Dakotas. So we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to keep this one a little short. If anything, we'll do a live stream so we can actually talk and, spread some ideas and figure out exactly what's going on and where things are going from this point. Checking out our storm prediction chart. This is a good thing because when you click the tornado spot, it's about 2%. Now, when this gets to about 10%, that's when you really want to start, not getting super concerned, but you want to keep a lookout. So right now it's at 2%. Again, this could change over time. In fact, I could hit refresh right now and it may have changed. It hasn't. It's still at 2%. But the wind value here is pretty big. That's how you know these storms are big. Between the lightning we're watching, those strong, deep red color cells we saw on Solar Scope here. Once again, there they are right there, same exact spot that we're looking at here, 30% chance of very high winds. And then with the hail situation, that's a 15% chance with a wide range hail, 5% chance extending from Texas through Oklahoma. Man, I'm messing up my states. Kansas, Nebraska, and then we got Missouri in there as well. So usually a lot of times when you see hail, you would think tornado, but again, you go back to the tornado situation and it says 2% right now. That's why I strictly rely on this website now. In fact, sorry about that. I moved too far over. I rely on this to let me know about tornadoes when I have this setting to velocity, because it gives you more of an idea of where there is spin going on. Now, if we go to the last frame here, I'll backtrack one, like this right here, and kind of right in this area here would be something that would catch my attention as far as tornadoes, possibly. This also, this little spread here, and if you notice, it branches off of the storm. We've talked about this before. A lot of times these tornadoes spin off to the east of the main part of the storms, but again, it's a waiting game. We don't know yet. It has not popped up as long as I've been recording this video, at least so far. So we will keep an eye on that as well. And one other thing I wanted to touch on before I let you go with this video is this, the discussion over the GFS model, which is used to, it does a lot of things. We use it a lot for hurricane season. We do use it on tropical tidbits to look at different storms and stuff like that. But finally, there's been an official change. If you guys remember, when we used to use tropical tidbits, we had the option to look at the FV3 GFS model. Now, that is completely changed. They've removed that from tropical tidbits and just replaced it with the GFS. So the FV3 is now the new GFS, and basically it's just a better technology. I've been doing some research on it to find out whether or not we are able to access that as we can on tropical tidbits. I'm not sure if tropical tidbits has updated their software to the new GFS, but basically in this text here, I don't want to extend this too much and bore you guys with text, but I'll link this in the description box. Basically, it's explaining how since 2012, since Hurricane Sandy, they've been trying to find a way to more accurately predict weather. Now, you can look at these graphs down here, and you can see the FV3 here, the GFS, and the TRMM. This is another version of a forecast model that is used. And when you look at the GFS compared to the FV3, the past FV3, the GFS does show more detail now. So the GFS is the new FV3 model. Over time, I'm sure every major model that we watch, the Doppler radars and things like that, if you have the GFS option, it will adapt to the new GFS, which is much more detailed. It's very accurate. They've gone through multiple runs to see what happens before a storm and after, and it's been really, it's been hitting home. It's been really doing well. So the switch has been made. I think they actually announced it on the 12th, about 2 days ago. I did not catch it at that point, so I'm letting you guys know that now. And again, I will be posting this in the description box. Let's see what this has to say. This is also a similar article describing new engine is driving NOAA's flagship weather forecast model. This also talks about how the new FV3 model is going to replace the GFS, but it's going to be called the GFS, except it came from the FV3. So those of you that are in the lingo with the GFS and the FV3 models, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know, I'm sorry, I may have to do a little more explaining when it comes to this video, but these articles are very important because they do a lot of explaining. There's a lot of detailed information in them. Again, I could get in here and read this all to you, but, you know, text is, you know, a lot of people don't want to sit here and read text all day, so I will leave these description or these links in the description box for you guys to read. It's a lot easier to sit in your own time and read and, you know, dissect these articles and paragraphs rather than me speeding through them and having people not understand. I've been getting some comments saying I'm talking too fast or I'm not going over certain things, but here's a last one I want to show you. This is from June 12th. So like I said, 2 days ago, they finally announced this. NOAA upgrades the U.S. Global Weather Forecast Model. So June 12th, NOAA's flagship weather model, the Global GFS system, GFS, is undergoing a significant upgrade today, which would have been the 12th. It is now the 14th, to include a new dynamic core called the Finite Volume Cubed Sphere, FV3. This upgrade will drive global numerical weather prediction into the future with improved forecast of severe weather. So basically, they're saying that this is the new technology that is going to give better warnings, better detailed information about oncoming storms, just basically giving people more time to prepare, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's tornado activity, or just severe storms in general. So again, this is another article I will post. It's basically explaining the same things in these 3 articles, how they're making the switch and what the details are within those switches. But back to what we were talking about. As far as tonight goes, northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, parts of Missouri. You guys are on alert tonight for pretty severe weather. You could see it here. This thing looks like it's just beginning to flare up right now as we get to the last frame. This is where we're at right now, current time. You could see some of these storm cells beginning to get into Nebraska here, and then we're going to start seeing them move into Iowa, and more than likely they're going to start coming down this way and then up. As we showed in this chart here, you can kind of see it's going to be one of those diagonal lines right to the northeast, with a lot of rain being dropped over the next 5 days. So we got to prepare for that. And I believe that's what I had for you. Now, really quick, I just wanted to show you on Tropical Tidbits how this matches up. Here is the low pressure system that is causing this storm over Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. And you can see the low pressure system is right there. The high pressure system is here, forcing out this front that just came and went over the East Coast. And as we move forward, you can see it follows that exact path that we just looked at over the 5-day chart of rain. We got a low pressure system above it that's going to add to this. So this could be a pretty significant situation for the Northeast. You can see some severe weather moving into the Buffalo, Watertown area in the northwest area of PA. Right where we talked about that 1998 earthquake that happened, the 5.8 right in that area after the 3.4 struck the other day. So we do have a round of weather coming our way, guys, that we need to really pay attention to. And then if we move a little bit forward, we're looking at something that could be tornado producing. This is what we saw. This was the same lineup we saw, the central to west Texas severe weather situation moving up through Oklahoma. And after that, it's kind of a coin toss. You don't want to go too much farther than that, but you see that turn into a low pressure system. That's always where you want to watch out for, especially when you get rings around it. That's wind, that's severe weather there, and that's what produces the tornadoes. So we need to keep an eye on that over the next couple days. And I'm going to keep this in another video, but there is a part of Tropical Tidbits showing the possibility of a hurricane coming out of the Pacific Ocean down by Central America. But that's far into the future, so I don't want to get too much into that. Right now, we're at the 20th, which is 6 days away, and you can see how this low pressure system is going to be fairly strong, and it's going to do a number on the states that you're seeing here. We got Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, and Arkansas with the low pressure centraled right over Iowa there. And this is a counterclockwise spinning storm. Now, as far as a possible bombogenesis, it's very hard to tell because you don't really get the number until you get to this area. You see, notice how the low pressure system is kind of here right now, and then it skips to here, but it is under 1,000, so this thing is packing a punch. It's hard to read the number right there. It looks like 995 as far as the barometric pressure. Then it goes to 994, so it does drop in pressure, which means this will get stronger, especially over Iowa come the 20th, June 20th. So the eastern part of Iowa definitely wants to keep an eye on this, as well as parts of Arkansas moving into Tennessee and Kentucky, because that is the upflow part of the counterclockwise system of this low pressure system. So anything this thing brings with it is going to be pretty severe. So we see these severe yellow stretches moving up, like I said, through Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky. That's certainly going to be something to watch out for. And this will be pushed out to the ocean hopefully sooner than later. And then if we dare, we move into the 21st, a low pressure system right over the Great Lakes once again. That's going to bring up moisture from the Gulf. That's going to bring up moisture from the Bahamas. And once again, the Northeast is going to have a few days of saturating rain. Low pressure system in Texas at this time, and now we're moving into territory where we're not quite sure what's going to happen, but if any of this becomes true, we're going to have quite the next 2 weeks coming up, as far as basically the eastern part of the country goes. Basically, a lot of these systems begin here, they flow down, another system flows up, and then boom, once again, guys, ground zero right here. And a strong low pressure system over here, even though it says 1,002. You look at these rings here, it's over water. It's going to continue to counterclockwise spin that water into states such as Massachusetts, Long Island. We got Vermont in there, Connecticut. All our favorite places that we always see get hit with these little nor'easter type looking storms. So, and then yes, we can keep going if we want to and see what the possibilities are, but it's kind of scattered after that. Hopefully this does not happen by the 26th, but again, we're looking a good 10, 11 days into the future, so we will check that out at another time. And I'm pretty sure that is the report I wanted to give. So, long story short, guys, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and even parts of the Dakotas right now, stay on alert. We're going to check out Solar System Scope one more time to see if there has not been any updates as far as a tornado warning, which I am not seeing, which is a good thing. We'll take a quick look at the Nebraska situation going on here. We'll hit play and just see what kind of cells we're dealing with in this area as well. We'll let this load really quick. I got a lot of stuff open. That's why it takes so long sometimes. But again, it is fairly quick. On your typical laptop, it would take about 5, 6, 7 minutes to get this thing to load. But here it comes, and we're on the reflectivity, and that's what we're looking at now. So once we get to the last frame here, you can see right there. There we go. So we're talking areas, a lot of lightning. It showed it on the chart. These purple areas are the beginning of the strong part of these storms. This will be moving towards Nelson. This is cell R3. We have Guide Rock, which is just to the northwest of this cell T4, which is expected to, let's see the time frame here. Click off that, click that. 11:36, so right about now. Actually, this is where Glen Rock is going to be under watch for sure. And then when you see all this lightning involved with these purple areas here, you really need to be concerned. So if you look at it on this chart, the velocity chart, you got this area here, which is just about right here. So this potentially has potential to become somewhat of a velocity situation. I'm not saying there's going to be a tornado, but don't be surprised if you see a little red block pop up at some point. Chances are it won't. Hopefully it won't. But just the lightning there I'm seeing is a little concerning to me. This green area, and then when you see these areas here, the closer you get to these colors, the more chance you have of tornadic activity. But again, they're showing severe weather blocks and not tornado blocks. So with that said, that's what I have for you for now, guys. Sorry the video got out so late. Ended up having some stuff to do that was not planned. I wanted to get this out a lot sooner. Still may do a live stream tonight, even though it's kind of late. But maybe we'll get some of our West Coast friends to get in there and talk about what's going on in that area. So that is the update for now, guys. I hope I didn't talk too fast, but if that ever is the case, you can always go into the settings bar and slow down the video to about 0.75%, and it'll actually slow my voice down, and you can listen a little slower. But some of these storms are pretty serious, guys. You really need to keep an eye on them, especially up in the Nebraska area where this is right now. And then, of course, as we scroll back down to Oklahoma and Kansas, these are just as important to watch. So this entire flow is going to be moving up to the northeast, as we showed on this chart before. Clearly, the lightning is still, where is that lightning chart? There it is. The lightning's going off like crazy. So we know these storms are very strong. A little less activity as far as the lightning is going up here. But when you see boom, 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 you know that this place is getting rocked right now. And now we have a western part of Texas that is getting hit. In fact, let's just look really quick. I can't help myself. They don't have it shown on here. They do have a severe weather spot to the east of Lubbock, Texas. But more than likely, you will see a red or a yellow block form in this area here as far as severe weather goes. So, all right, guys, I think I've kept you here long enough for this video. Keep an eye out, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. It's your deal tonight. Stay safe. Keep an eye on what's going on, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for the patience, and we will be back soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.